This is your mom's favorite show, Beer and Chill podcast. My name is Jan,
And I'm Craig.
and we would really appreciate if you would stop by and listen to our show. We are talking about interesting facts about your favorite movies, games, and TV shows.
For example, did you know that Christopher Lee and Ian McKellen had a real-life beef because Christopher Lee wanted to play Gandalf in Lord of the Rings?
And many other great facts.
We hope you check us out and enjoy the rest of your show. Bye-bye.
What's your favorite scary movie?
They mostly come at night. Mostly.
I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's work.
Suffering will be legendary, even in hell.
They're here.
Welcome, victims, to the Horr-Gasm podcast. I'm Nick, and with me is my co-host, Ali.
How?
We're back again.
Why did I just say how?
I don't know. But we're back again.
Again.
After our second hiatus. We extended the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had one release.
Did we have a
and then
first one? When did we first
we
one?
stopped, and then I think we released one, and then we stopped again.
Cute.
I'm pretty sure that's what we did. It's been a while. It's
okay.
been a while, and
It's been 6 months.
and you know, it's been also 2 years since we started this.
Woo. Oh my god, it's been 2 years.
It's been 2 years.
What?
I know.
Ugh.
And there's now, and people are wondering, you know, what's doing with the podcast? They're still doing the podcast. And I'll give a little brief explanation of our little hiatus. COVID's fault.
Yeah.
I moved out, and
Yep.
the travel was annoying, and we had some personal things we had to go through, both
Yeah.
me, Ali, and I. And yeah, in the end, though, we also gained a new member of the Horr-Gasm podcast.
We did.
We now have Anarchy, who is our head of talent relations.
Yes. She is my new basset hound, and she is adorable. And I will post pictures on Instagram. And Ichabod's still hanging out around here.
Yeah.
She's just, you'll probably hear her. She's trying to squeak a toy at me right now.
Of
So we have
course.
another new setup. We're just like nomadic now with the microphones.
It's either recorded at your place or my
Yep.
place, wherever we decide to. Although, you know
Wherever
what?
we feel. Yeah.
I am liking this setup here.
Yeah, hey. Well, now that I don't have like some lame-o living in my basement, I have more room.
Yeah. She means
It's
me.
you!
She means me. I am that lame-o.
Tis I, the lame-o.
Yes, lame-o extraordinaire.
Yes, quite.
Oh,
quite.
yes,
I'll
quite.
take one of your finest lame-os.
Love it. And you know, we have not lost a step.
Right?
We're still in it. But no, sadly, because of COVID and just other
Yeah,
personal
ugh.
shit, we had to take a hiatus. We needed to
Yes.
take time off, and which was needed.
Yeah, we needed to sort out our personal lives and get shit together. And as you know, everybody has to do now and then.
I hate adulting.
It is so hard.
Sucks.
Yeah.
There's a good side, you know, stay up as late as I want, watching horror movies, playing
Oh
games,
my
all
god.
that.
In the last 6 months, I've probably watched like 200 horror movies.
Nice.
And I can't even remember all of them. That's how many I
Then
watched.
you get to watch them again.
Like the other day when it was like, oh, you know, let's record. Let's talk about the movies we've watched. And it's just like one big montage in my head of like me sitting on my bed eating popcorn like, she's a maniac, maniac. That's what it would be for 6
Love
months.
Nice.
Yeah. No, the cases here in good old Saskatchewan are horrifying. We're getting mandates and all that stuff for
Yeah.
the COVID. So there's
It was good for a while.
Yeah.
And then it just exploded again. And
Exactly.
whatever.
Yeah,
I'm
it
boosted
is.
up.
Yeah, it is what it is. Yep. We're
got my
vaxxed up.
shots.
We're vaxxed, waxed, and relaxed. So we're ready to get back at her.
And tattooed.
Oh my god.
Oh, there's a term called tattoo therapy. And
Oh,
both,
is that what it is?
well, that's what I'm calling
I
it.
call it hurt me until I feel something again. But yeah, that tattoo therapy. Okay, sure.
Tattoo therapy. And
We said the same word. I don't understand.
and Ali knows a lovely lady named Devious Nick.
The
and
best ever.
She's newish with tattooing, but she is fantastic.
World's best apprentice.
Yes.
I love her so much.
Yes, so a big shout out to Devious Nick for
Yeah.
giving us awesome, amazing tattoos.
Ugh.
Because let's see, I added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think 5 or 6.
Oh my god, since March, I can't even see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay, you know, you can stop.
11,
and
12.
You got me beat. Okay. Now you're just gloating.
Oh, sorry. Did you not hear what I just said?
I know that's fair. No, I get that. But no, we got some.
Feel something.
We got some great tattoos.
Yeah, and we got a matching
We
tattoo.
have a matching horror tattoo.
We'll post a picture eventually. I'm wearing pants right now, and I don't really want to take my pants off in front of my cousins. So
Thank you.
we'll
Thank you.
we'll post a picture at some point here. I guess we could take a picture now, like
Well,
after. I'll put shorts.
There's
on
also,
after.
I think, pics on
Instagram. Yeah, I mean, like we can take a picture side by side and post them on Instagram. I know Nick wants a picture anyways.
Yes, she does. Yeah.
Other Nick, tattoo Nick.
Yes. Other Nick. Devious
Devious
Nick.
Nick. Yeah.
Yes.
Fun. Yeah. I guess a couple of mine are horror. I got the loser lever from It. I got matches. They were kind of a horror special, and a hatchet and a knife. And I think that those are the horror ones I have.
I got a chocobo. That's
Yes.
definitely not horror.
Nope. Yeah, all my other ones are just like nerdy. Like I got
So
the
am
Golden
I.
Girls, Hamtaro, Mass Effect.
Nice.
What else did I get?
And
I
I
have more down
I
there.
think there's a Halloween's Flash special.
Yes.
Which I already told her, keep a spot for me because I'm
Same.
coming to get them being
Yeah.
tattooed up.
Yeah, I'm going to see her. I'm going to see her again on Friday. So I'll
Yay.
ask her then to see, because after this week, it's the last week in their old place. They're moving to Broadway, starting next Monday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
Fancy new shop, and they deserve it. The shop's called Painfully Pretty, and they're a 10 out of 10, and I love them. All of them.
Amazing.
Penny, Lacey, and Nicole are all amazing.
Amazing, talented girls.
Yeah.
Who just kick ass in tattooing.
Absolutely.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
I love them. I love them all.
They're
awesome.
feminists, they're like LGBTQ, like friendly. They're just, it's such a safe space.
And they're fun. They're fun to talk to. They're very
So much fun.
personable.
Nick and I hang out, like other Nick, Tattoo Nick, and I hang out outside of her tattooing. We also take pole classes together. And we go out for drinks and stuff. She's fun. Yeah, we're like,
I'm waiting for my invite still. I keep getting.
well, you smell funny though.
And I'm a lame-o.
Exactly, right. I need my daily recommended dose of Lamo.
That's right. Ooh, we should ask if we can get sponsored by or brought to you. Horr-Gasm podcast brought to you by Painfully Pretty Tattoos.
They're so cute. Oh, I'll post some pictures. Yeah, they have fun stuff.
You have some social work to do, and I have some editing work to do after all this recording. And
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we're back in the saddle, friends.
yes,
We need a distraction to distract us from other lifey, adulty stuff.
Yes.
So this is perfect.
and we're gonna do our damnedest best to stay on schedule now.
Exactly. We're gonna get a few episodes ahead. So if we're, something gets in the way, at least we have something to release.
Yeah, and we recorded one back in
Yes.
April. That was our last
April.
recording,
Yeah.
and we're gonna release this episode after this one.
Yeah. Next week in quotations.
Next
yeah.
next week. So and also we made some changes. I decided to do away with the opening little spiel because
Yeah.
fuck it, let's get right into the action.
Exactly. We have enough talking. We always go over in the talking parts
We
anyways.
totally
we may
do.
as well.
Totally do.
But this is like we've already been sitting here for like 2.5 hours, and all we've been doing is talking.
Yeah. Well, that's also we were brainstorming and working.
Yeah.
We mentioned earlier in the year. Has it been? Yeah. We're gonna do a Twitch, a stream.
Yeah.
And now we're actually really planning to go ahead with that.
Yes.
We kind of put that on the back burner and said fuck it for a while. But now, because of COVID, because of situations, we're like, you know what? Maybe we should really go into this because there's more than just movies we can talk about. And books.
Exactly.
There's games. There's tons of horror games. And Twitch is such a huge thing. Streaming is a
Totally.
huge thing.
Yeah.
We should maybe get some of that pie.
And I was just saying, like, I always sit and play games anyways, so I may as well play games for people.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I know I watch enough
We're
Game
fun.
Grumps, so
Yeah.
if they can do it,
Exactly.
we can do it not as good.
Not as good and clear and wonderful and hilarious, but like it'll be fine.
I don't even stream. They just record a bunch and then put it on YouTube.
Exactly.
Which we'll have our Twitch channel. We have our YouTube channel. We'll probably put clips on there.
Absolutely.
It's a lot of work yet. We're still trying to work it out. We're making ideas. We're brainstorming. But I don't have an exact release date yet, but it's coming.
Yeah, we'll probably do a soft release and just like, hey, we're trying this out. And we'll pop a schedule up and kind of see how it goes.
Yeah.
We'll cement more stuff after. This is the first time we've gotten together in a while, so we're just kind of brainstorming and stuff still.
Yeah,
but
we also need to regain our listeners and our followers, because I'm sure they're like, well, they're dead and gone.
Yeah. I hope they're enjoying being face down a ditch somewhere.
Yeah.
Because, that's how we roll.
That's a good place. It's fall. There's leaves.
It's
There's
cozy,
cover.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
What is more white girl than being face down in a pile of leaves? Like, really? Don't look at me like that.
I'm looking away to not look at you.
Dye my hair back blonde, put on my Uggs, get a pumpkin spice latte, and just face down in a ditch. Turtleneck.
Oh,
the
yes.
pumpkin.
Yes. Pumpkin.
Oh my god.
And so we got our weeks planned up here. We're working on that. So we'll have our Halloween special.
Yep.
As usual, because it's October.
This is Halloween.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I think this will be released this week.
It will. I think it's
Because today is the
5th. Oh shit, it's the 7th. My tattoo's on Thursday, not Friday.
Cool.
I need somebody to help me run my life, because I just,
Well, we'll talk to Anarchy, our head of talent relations, and she will.
What the hell?
No, she's sleeping.
Yeah, she's sleeping. I sent Nick. I was at my parents' house yesterday, and I sent Nick a picture. I was like, "Yeah, our two employees are working really hard, and they're both just completely passed the fuck out
Zonked
on the couch." Like, way to go, girls! Like, come on. Jeez. I just realized we had chips on the table, and now I'm really sad we're recording because I can't eat my chips.
Well, that's a treat. It's an after-recording treat.
It's like a reward.
All right, I think we've talked enough chop.
Have we?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm trying to be progressive. Okay, so.
Oh my god.
Well, fine. Let's talk about some horror movies, because there's a bunch that are being released that we haven't talked about for months.
Oh, hey, you saw the new Candyman. That one is still like
okay. So, yes,
Tell me.
I saw a new Candyman, and with a friend.
Yep. I've heard it's okay.
It's not bad.
Yeah, that's
It's
awesome.
not scary, but also I'm more not so sensitive to being scared as much anymore. Mm-hmm. But it is part of the original Candyman story.
I've heard.
It's a sequel.
Yeah. I've heard, like, so I still listen to Dead Meat, and I kind of, because I didn't, because of the COVID thing, it's like I haven't gone to a theater as much, and I could, like, morally gray area stream it, but I'd rather spend the money and invest in, like, filmmakers and stuff, because I know that industry is struggling, right? If you read anywhere, every industry is such struggling. Yeah. So I really wanted to go, but I was like, ugh. So I haven't seen it yet. So I watched Dead Meat, listened to Dead Meat, and it was like, oh, it sounds so cool though. I love the concept.
It's almost like a direct sequel to the very, very first one.
Right.
And it's got some cool scenes, very interesting deaths. You don't see anything too gruesome.
Lame.
Yeah. Did you say lame?
Lame.
Oh, yeah. But it sticks with the original theme of the first one. Mm-hmm. And people online are like, oh, it throws a lot on your face, it's all that. Now it's preachy. I was expecting that.
Yes.
It's not. Just the very end.
See, and I've heard that as well. And Dead Meat talked about that. And they're like, with everything that's been going on in the world, it's hard to confront it sort of face on. You more have to make it subtle, elves and warlocks are fighting and elves are enslaved. Oh my god. No. And then people are like, that's mean. And they're like, racism! So if you more subtly make it, then you can trick people almost into being like, oh wait, and having a light bulb moment.
Yeah.
But when it's right in your face, it's more like people are like, I'm not gonna go see that damn movie.
I don't go to a movie to be preached at
course,
or anything
totally.
like that. I go to be
It's-
entertained.
And to entertain, to escape,
Yes.
right?
The last someone who's bothered by the whole racial thing and
Yes.
like I just want to go see a scary movie and get away from it, and then
Exactly.
they like slap you in the face with a dead fish.
I know.
Um,
And it's like, I know that there's dead fish. And like, that's the thing is that like, I'm super like, you know, try to be a good ally and everything. But like, in the same breath, it's like, you know, I'm not the audience. And I know that I'm not the audience they're trying to reach. In the same sort of vein, I was playing, this is a while ago, I was playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're not like in the Animus, when you're being yourself, whoever you are, you get an email from a coworker and it's like, how's your isolation from COVID-19 going? And I'm like,
really?
I literally bought it, whenever it came out last April, in the height of COVID. And I'm like, I don't want to read an email in my game about COVID. I want to see people walking around without masks on and pretend like that's the world, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, when you kind of, like, put real world stuff, and again, it's very important, and I think we need to do it, but it almost needs to be more veiled.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Fucking Candyman. Yeah,
But it was good. I enjoyed it. It was better than I expected.
I'm going to see it when I feel comfortable going to theaters.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll be on...
I think we have the passports now or whatever, the vaccine proof of vaccination.
Well, I don't think it's in theaters anymore. I think it's now...
Oh, yeah.
When the time you're ready to go out, it'll be to watch on TV.
Yeah,
You can
probably
just
it's
buy-
on
you
Prime.
rent
I
it or
could
buy it.
probably,
Yeah.
Free Guy's already free on Disney.
It is.
Didn't that, like, just come out? Like, I
Yep.
just watched it. Because
Yep.
I went to theaters for that one. I know it's not a horror movie, but I was like...
There's other movies. I saw Venom 2.
Yeah, oh,
the other
that's
day.
probably... That's horror-ish, isn't it? More adventure or
It's
action.
more action-y, not so much horror, but it's a great movie. They did a great job.
Spooky, scary, though.
It's,
Spooky.
it's not like, I guess the New Mutants were very spooky, scary.
Yes.
And that's for free on Amazon? No, Disney Plus.
Yep.
I haven't watched that yet.
I haven't either.
But there's that. I saw, what was that one movie? It starred, crap, I forget his name now. I'm gonna bug me. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up.
Let's see, horror movies. I'm on the spot. I was gonna say when you were talking about not really being scared, I was playing this horror game, and for some reason, I'm more scared in a game than I am when I'm watching a movie. And I think because when you're playing a game, you're more like, especially like I was playing in my room with the lights off, it was like 2 a.m. You're much more like invested and you're like, you know, in the environment and you're spooked. Because like in a movie, you know, usually when I watch movies, and I know that this is very millennial of me, but I'm like on my phone playing solitaire or something silly, you know, when I'm playing. So I'm not, it doesn't have my full attention and I'm not completely immersed in the experience. But even when I go to a movie in a theater, I'm still not 100% the same. But games, for some reason, really spook me. Really heckin' spook me.
And I think it's because you're in that role. You're not watching, it's not like you're watching from the outside. You're in there, you're a part of it.
Yeah.
You're living that character.
Yes.
And you can kind of, it's hard to explain, but as opposed to like saying Alien Isolation.
Yeah.
That game scared the fuck out of me because it was, your everything you do would make things different. You can escape it. You can try to escape. Whereas a movie, you're just watching and you have no control. Yeah. I think that's the whole other thing, the control. You have control of what you can do.
Yes, you have the direction where you're walking, you know, you have the action button, like you get to choose what you're doing. It's crazy. I don't know.
The Unholy.
The Unholy.
I watched The Unholy. It wasn't that scary. I was disappointed. But it had William Sadler and Negan from Walking Dead. Yeah. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't that exciting. But it's got a good story.
Perfect.
It wasn't terrible. I've seen worse.
Sure.
But yeah, it wasn't bad. It was a good little, haunting, cursed movie.
There's lots of those out lately. Lots of possessions. There are so many possession movies out lately.
Well, they're remaking
Yeah.
a little bit of, whatever. They're redoing The Exorcist, which is what we're reviewing
I
today.
was going to say.
Yeah, oh, by the way, we're
Fun.
doing The Exorcist today.
Oh, yeah.
But no, they're remaking it. And they say it's going to be stupid, spooky, scary. They're
Right.
really, really going to try and make it, I think, like the original, make it a very uncomfortable watch.
Isn't there already a series of The Exorcist?
Oh, yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
There's 4 or 5 movies.
Awesome. Yeah, the third one was really good. I remember. We were talking about this when we were watching it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's that. There's, I think, The Awakening, which was supposed to be a prequel.
Yeah.
And I think there's a series. I think there's a TV series, too.
Yes, there is. It's on
Okay.
Netflix. It's on my list. I haven't watched it
Neither
yet.
have I.
We'll get there.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what we have watched?
What?
The Exorcist.
We
original.
totally did.
We did.
It was my first time
Woo!
watching it all the way through.
Amazing. Well, we should talk about it then, hey?
Yeah.
Damien!
Amen.
God! Defender of the human race! Oh, look down in pity!
You killed your
on this
mother!
your servant!
You left her alone to
Ready to
die!
raise
Shut
the-
up! I'll never forgive you!
Repent, O Lord,
Shut up!
devil's
Bastard! Oh!
I command you, by the judge of the living and the dead, to depart from the servant of God.
All right, so this week we watched The Exorcist. It's a 1973 movie. It was directed by William Friedkin. Friedkin?
Freaking Deacon.
Freakum dress? I don't know.
William Friedkin.
Sure.
Let's go Friedkin.
Wilhelm Friedkin? I don't know. I don't know his nationality. It sounds like Swedish or something. German. I don't know. Yeah. So we watched it. Oh fuck, I should have opened the chips. God damn it. I've watched The Exorcist a few times before.
Okay.
Like you were
But-
saying, it's your first time.
Yes, but have you watched this version? This is the director's cut. Where it's got-
I'm sure because you said that there were certain parts like when she crab walks down the stairs and
Yes.
stuff. I've seen that before.
Okay.
So
Because there's original theatrical, which cuts that part out, and a few other scenes. I think there's more of her tests and all that. I think they cut that out.
yeah,
For pacing. But other than that, I'm not sure what else they really cut or added.
yeah,
But the biggest one is the crab walk down the stairs.
yeah.
And that was cut because they thought it'd be too spooky for the audience.
Yeah, like it kind of messed up the pacing or something. You said like they thought they didn't want it to be so spooky so quick.
No, not that. Yes, I think so. They don't want too spooky at that spot.
Yeah.
Then the rest of just think just pacing and
Totally.
just it kind of made things
Yeah,
longer than it should be.
makes sense.
Yeah,
But yeah, it was fun.
I enjoyed it, and I wasn't a fan of it. I don't understand.
Interesting.
Everyone puts it at least a top 1 or 2 of all horror movies.
Yeah, it's always up there. Always.
I don't see it as my top because I don't find it that scary.
Interesting.
Again, back in the day, I can see it being very, very scary, disturbing. The pea soup vomit. I know people fainted and had to leave because it was.
it's gross.
Oh, it's gross, 100%. But it's the head turnaround scene.
Yep. Those parts are crazy. The worst, okay, this is just spoilers. I'm sorry guys. Obviously this is spoilers. We're into it now, but the part where she's like shoving the crucifix up her hoo-ha,
That was also, a lot of that was cut out too.
that part has always bugged me. When I think of The Exorcist, that's the part, and it always bugs me.
And the thing is, I think of the pea soup. Or
Interesting.
the head turn. Those are the two things that, when I think of The Exorcist, vomit, green stuff, and she turns her head around.
Yeah. I think as a woman, like, putting a splintery piece of wood with Jesus on it up my hoo-ha sounds horrifying. Maybe that's why I remember it. Also, it's like a child, and anything
Yes.
sexualizing a child, to me, is so fucked up.
Yeah.
And that's what bugs me, I think. Is more like, okay, she's puking, she's talking, she's swearing, fine. But it's
But
just
to-
anything with, that kind of
Yeah,
stuff
to
stresses me out.
Violently, violate yourself with
Yes.
that object, and then grab your mom's head and put her face in it. It's terrible. It
Like,
really
it's so
is.
creepy. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a part that I always think about. Because it's just so disturbing. And I think that that's why I love it, like, this movie so much. Like, for horror movies, it would probably be up there for me, too. Just because of how disturbing it is.
I think at that point, at that time for horror movies, the bar was this high.
Absolutely.
If there was a glass ceiling, Exorcist just smashed right through.
Destroyed it.
Yeah, fuck you, pointing down with both fingers.
Yeah.
We're going to push boundaries.
Yes.
We're gonna make it be a shock, shock factors.
Yes.
And we don't care.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're here to make a horror movie. I think it was based on real events.
Absolutely.
But of course they Hollywoodized it because you have to.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's crazy. It's just, I don't know. I like it. And I know that because my parents obviously were alive in 1973 and my dad has seen it. My mom would never.
No.
But my dad was like, yeah, it was okay. I'm like, all right. Okay.
Yeah, but nothing phases him.
Big tough guy. I was going to say, nothing phases him. But, oh gosh. But, yeah, it was good. I'm glad you liked it.
I didn't mind it. It's better than I thought it was going to be because I thought, it's just overrated. It's not.
The pacing is so good.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the thing where, like, you almost, when you see clips, you just see, the clips.
Of the actual possession and the exorcism and all that.
But when you put it all together and, like, all these horrible tests they were doing and, like, like draining that neck thing they did, like...
Shock therapy.
Yes. You're like, man, like, this kid, like, has been through it.
Yeah.
Ugh. It's crazy.
And even, like, the opening.
Yes.
There's a good bit of prologue.
Oh, my gosh,
which explains, what's going on there.
Yeah. It's basically just like a white guy running through Egypt for 20 minutes.
And of course, as we watch, we like to make jokes and fun of it, and and a little bit of promotion for a different YouTube show. Djibouti Dubs. They are hilarious. They do infomercial redubs. They do some movies. Free Domain. That's what I was looking for.
Free Domain. That's it.
Yes. I knew I remember it. So they do. It's hilarious. The voices they do, the clips they do. I showed you that too.
Yes, you did.
The VTuber girl. She did like a react to them.
Watching it, yeah.
And she's laughing her ass off. And I'm laughing because not just of the content, but she's laughing too.
Yeah.
But they're good. Like Djibouti Dubs are funny. Check them out. You're welcome. Djibouti Dubs.
Yeah, it was good. Oh, I'm glad we watched it. Good movie to get back into.
It really is. And if we're gonna get back, I figured we were going to get back into something big.
Yeah, with a bang. With
a bang. And people rate The Exorcist as one of the top scariest movies ever.
Absolutely.
Why the fuck not? If we're gonna come back, we gotta come back. We gotta a bit of apologize to our fans, all that.
Yeah.
But hey, we're back and we're coming out swinging.
Yes.
With The Exorcist.
Woo!
Should we go through the cast?
Let's do the characters.
So we have Ellen Bernstein as Chris McNeil.
The mom? Who's the mom?
Yes, that's the mom.
Okay.
Chris, that's...
Really?
Yeah, that's...
Oh, I believe you.
Yeah,
do I believe you?
Well, it's on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, you're right. Yep.
Deal with it. Jason Miller as Father/Dr. Damien Carras. Linda Blair as Regan McNeil, which...
Amazing.
Yeah, she really got the spotlight on her with this movie. The late, great Max von Sydow as Father Lancaster Marin. This guy's great. He's been in so many great, awesome horror movies. Star Wars. You name it. He's one of the all-time greats.
So good.
We have Lee J. Cobb as Lieutenant William F. Kinderman.
Yep.
Kitty Wynn as Sharon Spencer. Jack McGowran as Burke Dennings.
Mr. Dennings.
Yep. Father William O'Malley as Father Joseph Dyer. They actually have religious people still in this movie.
Huh.
And then Father Thomas Birmingham as Tom.
Oh, Tom. Yep.
And we thought are just kind of less known characters. And then we have Mercedes McCambridge as the voice of Pazuzu,
Oh,
who
yes. Yes.
the entity that possessed the girl.
The main people we mostly focus on is Linda Blair and Chris, the mom, and then Father Marin. I think those are the three that we see the most of.
Yes, because Father Marin, he's
like the young hip priest.
Yes, but he's also having a crisis of faith.
Yes, exactly.
Because his mom is not doing very well. She's dementia and something else.
Yeah.
And he's ready just to walk away, just to help her.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Yeah, it's you know, and it's such a good point that, you know, when you're, you know, become a priest, your family doesn't just go away. And he's the only family, really, that she has left. I think it's like her brother or something is the other one that visits her in the hospital.
Yes, yeah.
But it's, and he just guilts the shit out of him. Like, you should be with her. You should put her in an actual place. Like, you know, you don't make many money as a priest. You know, you should rethink your life and figure this out. And he's like,
Yeah.
So.
But, you know, it's
an interesting dynamic in the movie, honestly, because you think that you're coming into it and it's just going to be about a possessed little girl, and it's like, nay.
Yeah.
There's so much more to it.
Yeah. And he gets really involved, too.
Yes,
like
so invested.
Yes, he goes and he really has a nice chat with Regan, trying to, you know, and also, in turn, the devil inside her.
Yeah.
But it's also something that he can use against him.
Right.
During his exorcism.
Yeah.
Because he brings up his, you know, your mom sucking cocks in hell.
Yes.
Because she passes away.
Right.
And, spoilers. I'm sorry, this movie's been out for God knows how many years, 1973. There is no spoiler owl needed for this movie.
Yeah, no
If you haven't seen it now, you have to watch it. Or listen to this and skip it, whatever, I don't care. But you prefer to watch it, because it's a great horror movie. I can see where people like it so much.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
It really sets up the, you know, uncomfortable feeling. And also, again, I haven't seen the whole thing until now. The scratches, the sounds, you don't see, but you hear.
Yes.
And this was done from Paranormal Activity. Mm-hmm. And that really, you know, they went back, they took things from The Exorcist, and they brought it to, you know, now, and you don't see anything.
Exactly.
But it works. It really gets the whole atmosphere. That's what this movie has. Atmosphere.
Yes. For days.
Yes.
Yes. I absolutely agree with you. Yeah. Fantastic. Fantastic movie.
Great movie.
Let's get into the plot.
Okay. So, and there's also, we watched the director's cut, the theatrical cut.
Right.
I guess our cut had a different ending, but I'll go into that when I go through this here. So, Lancaster Marin, a veteran Catholic priest, is on an archaeological dig in the ancient city of Hatra in Iraq. Mm-hmm. Lured by a colleague, he finds a sculpture that resembles Pazuzu, a demon of ancient origins with whose history Marin is familiar.
Which is like a really fun name to say, by the way.
Yes, and I think that's where the prequel comes from.
Yeah, you're right.
I've seen it, I saw it in theaters, it's been a minute. But soon afterwards, after consuming a small white pill, Marin encounters a statue towering over him in the image of Pazuzu, an omen warning him of a looming confrontation. Meanwhile, in Georgetown, actress Chris McNeil is living on location with her 12-year-old daughter, Regan. She's 12?
Oh.
I thought she was a little older.
Oh, I thought she was like 8. I have no concept for ages in children.
Oh, neither do I. She is starring in a film directed by her friend and associate, Burke Dennings. This guy's a creeper. Mm-hmm. Creepy Burke. Ugh. During this time, small oddities begin to occur around the house, such as scratching from the attic without a source. We've talked about that. After playing with a Ouija board and contacting a supposedly imaginary friend whom she calls Captain Howdy, Regan begins acting strangely, using obscene language and exhibiting abnormal strength. Additionally, there is a poltergeist-like activity in the home at night. And this is cool. When Regan's she starts acting out a bit. She's having like a big party.
Yeah.
That's coming up here right away. But yeah, she goes to the psychiatrist because she's moody. 12-year-old girl, moody. I guess they went to a psychiatrist.
And it's like so taboo back then too. It's when she starts talking to somebody, everybody's like, she's seeing a psychiatrist. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
so taboo. And it's like, I don't know anybody in my life really that hasn't seen a psychiatrist.
True.
Right? It's just like so commonplace now.
Yeah.
But back then, mental health like was not nearly as, you know, much of a thing as it is
No.
now, because everybody's like, well, just shove your feelings down. Drink the bad away. Like, you know? So, as I'm sitting here drinking a beer.
I'm drinking too. But also when after the session, she's talking to the mom. She's talking to the psychiatrist. He's like, do you know what her language? She's like, what language? She doesn't swear. He's like, well, she had some good words.
Yes.
And she was calling him like a fucking bastard. I think she called him a cunt.
Yes.
And they're laughing about it.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's so ridiculous. And I would laugh too.
Exact. And that's the thing, is that, like, it's so hard to, like, oh, you know, crazy girl. But it's, you know, if
she
my
let loose.
12-year-old said cunt, I would flip.
Get that soap.
Yeah. I still can't say that in front of my mom and dad because they would lose it.
I don't do to respect.
Exactly.
It's a respect
exactly.
thing. 100% respect thing.
It's like one of the words that they absolutely can't stand. And I'm like, oh, my bread's done.
Yay.
But it's like one of the words that for some reason really rubs people the wrong way. And I think it's got like such a nice mouthfeel.
Yeah.
Like,
And also
wonderful.
I think in Australia and Britain, it's more of a more used term. Like,
You're absolutely right.
And even Scotland are like, yo, fucking cunt.
Yeah.
Like, and also the language, the accent, I think kind of makes it more, or less hard.
I agree. Yep. Yeah.
But
it's just kind of how we say it, I think.
It's, you know, if you mean business, you say cunt.
Yeah. If you really want to hurt somebody's feelings, that's what you say.
Yeah. If you're joking around, you call it a snooch. I made that word up. I love it.
Fantastic. Love it too.
So, don't we all?
Heyo!
Heyo! Chris hosts a party during which Regan comes downstairs unannounced. Tells one of the guests, who's apparently an astronaut, that he will die up there, and then urinates on the floor.
Yes.
I did not catch that until now.
That what?
That he was an astronaut.
Oh.
I must have missed that. I must have been not paying attention.
Oh, he was an astronaut.
Yep.
Interesting.
And I'm wondering if this is before one of the shuttle accidents.
Oh, sure.
He's saying he will die up there.
For sure it was. Yeah.
And then she pees on the floor.
Yeah. And again, it's just like if she's not feeling well, like, okay, you know, we've all, you know, had accidents in bed when we're not feeling well when we're kids. But, like, to purposely walk downstairs and just, like, pee all over the carpet, just standing there.
Just stand there and just pee.
Bizarre.
Especially from a girl.
Yes.
Usually, you know, boys, they pee all over the place because they can.
Yep.
But girls, they don't. They're ladies.
It's just crazy. I don't know.
And also, this scene was parodied superbly well
in
Scary Movie 2.
Oh, doesn't she pee like forever?
Oh, she's like a horse.
Yeah.
it's so funny.
Gosh.
Well, it was very well done.
Yes.
Later that night, Regan's bed begins to shake and levitate violently. Chris consults a number of physicians, putting Regan through a battery of diagnostic tests, but the doctors find nothing physiologically wrong with her. Yeah, because they that poor girl, she goes through every test.
Yes.
And she fights him. Like, she's like, the demon inside is fighting back, and
absolutely, yeah.
they have a heck of a time.
Yeah.
And also, she mentioned it before. Mom, I can't sleep. My bed's shaking.
Yes.
And the mom's kind of, oh, you're just dreaming.
Yeah.
It's nothing. Tucks her in. You're fine. Good night. And then leaves. One
and they
night,
sleep together one night too. When she's like really like, Mom, I can't sleep. She's like, okay. And then they snuggle in together, and it's like, aw.
Yeah.
You know, she might just be, making it up to still sleep with Mom.
Yeah. And it shows that they got a good relationship. And I think the dad he's away for either work
away in quotations.
I don't know if they're even together.
No.
But yeah, I think
they talk about it sort of in passing later on, because I think the priest asks like, "Where's the father?" And he's like, or she's like, "We don't talk about him."
Yeah.
He's
Well,
like,
no, because they have a phone call conversation.
Yes.
But that's about it. So, one night when Chris is out, Burke Dennings is babysitting a heavily sedated Regan. Chris returns to hear that Dennings has died. having fallen out of the window. Although this is assumed to have been an accident, given Burke's history of heavy drinking, his death is investigated by Lieutenant William Kinderman. Kinderman interviews Chris, and he also consults psychiatrist Father Damien Carras,
Yes.
a Jesuit priest struggling with his faith.
Aww.
Now, Carras's crisis of faith is precipitated by the death of his mother, which he blames on himself, which we talked about already.
Yes.
And yeah, the lieutenant, he's like, this is fishy. Something's going on, because he walks
Right.
up, he sees, because the bedroom window is like overlooking the stairs going down
Yeah.
to the street, and this is look, she couldn't have jumped.
Exactly.
He had to have been thrown,
Yep.
and there's no one in there but a heavily sedated Regan.
Yep.
The doctors, believing that Regan's aberrations are mostly psychological in origin, recommend an exorcism be performed. Chris arranges a meeting with Carras, who, reluctant to engage spiritually, agrees to at least speak with Regan. Is it Regan or Reagan?
Regan,
Okay,
I'm pretty
Regan,
sure. Yeah.
because I know it's pronounced both ways.
Yeah.
As the two come face to face, Carras and Regan test each other's wits, although Carras is skeptical of the idea that anything supernatural is happening. And this is true.
Yep.
I forget what... Oh, it was the Unholy.
Yep.
If you think there's an exorcism, basically the Catholic priesthood, like the organization, they bring someone in to try their damnedest to prove it's not spiritual, it's not it's not demonic.
That it's literally anything else.
Yeah, anything else.
Yeah.
And if they don't find anything, or everything they try gets basically debunked, then they go ahead with the exorcism. It's not
Exactly.
just, oh, I'm possessed, bring in a priest, an old priest and a young priest.
Because it's so controversial to begin with, that I think that's why they do it. Right? Because
Yes.
it's like, if they want it to be literally a last resort.
And I'm sure they've also before done it on the wrong person.
Literally.
And
that's
they've
that's what the exorcism of Emily Rose
Yes.
is the trial after, because she dies.
Yeah.
Which you find out, that's not a spoiler, it's literally the beginning of the movie. And the priest is on trial for murder.
Yeah.
And so that's what they're doing, is that, like, they're trying to prove that, they asked for this and she starved to death.
Yeah.
So they're trying to prove that, we did everything and this was a last resort type thing.
Yeah. And as they should. They can.
Exactly.
It's a very...
For sure.
I haven't never seen one, but it sounds like not a very fun experience.
No. I've seen so many clips and stuff about it, and it is just terrifying.
Yeah. And it's not like a one-night thing. This is like months.
Yeah.
It can almost take a year. And sometimes there's more than one. Now,
Yes.
are these real? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I haven't seen one. I'm not the most spiritual person alive at all. But there are some things that I can't explain.
Exactly. Yep.
So
Yep,
until
yep.
I see something otherwise, maybe it happens.
Yeah.
Lost my place. Okay. Chris tearfully finds herself at a dead end and confides in Carras that Regan was the one who murdered Dennings. She kind of figured it out.
Right.
And begs him to find a solution, because also Chris is rich enough, she has a maid and a butler.
Yes.
And they were gone that night. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, the maid
stepped out for
to
something.
get something, and Burke was there, so he's like, "Oh, just look, she's just sleeping. I'll just be here."
Yeah.
And it's just they get back and nobody's there, and they're like, "How is there nobody here with my child?"
Yeah. It's she's not dumb. She's smart. Over the next couple of days, Carol witnesses Regan speaking backward in different languages she does not know. And the phrase, "help me," appears to be carved from the inside of her stomach, convincing him she really is possessed by a demon. He implores the church to let him perform an exorcism, but feeling Carras is outmatched, the church calls on Marin to perform the exorcism while allowing Carras to assist.
Yes.
And also, when she's speaking backwards, she mentions his name.
Yes.
She's almost like in fear of Marin. Mm-hmm. Which is great foreshadowing.
Good. Yeah, good for them.
The ritual begins as a battle of wills, with Regan performing a series of horrific and vulgar acts.
Yes.
Which is the masturbation with the crucifix.
Yeah.
The vomiting. It's very, Bad. They attempt to exorcise the demon, but the spirit digs in, claiming to be the devil himself. The spirit relentlessly toys with the priest and zeroes in on Karas, sensing his guilt from the passing of his mother. Karas weakens after the demon impersonates his late mother and is excused by Marin, who continues the exorcism alone. Don't do that. That's bad.
Number one tip in horror movies: don't split up.
Nope, stay together. Once he has gathered his strength, Karas re-enters the room and discovers Marin dead of a heart attack.
Yes.
Because he takes the pills, he has shakes and episodes.
Yeah.
He's an older fella.
Yeah.
He's not doing too good.
He's not doing so good, Mr. Stark.
After he fails to revive Marin, the enraged Karas grabs a laughing Regan and wrestles her to the ground. He just grabs her and just... Yeah.
Well, because she's gotten out of her restraints because they have her tied to the bed.
Yeah, she kind of broke free.
Yep, she's gotten out of her restraints and she's just sitting there, just watching him try to revive Marin.
He tried to tie her back up, but it didn't work.
Nope.
I forget why. Yeah. At Karas' invitation, the demon leaves Regan's body and takes hold of Karas. In a foul moment of strength and self-sacrifice, Karas throws himself out of the window before he can harm Regan, falling to his death down a set of stone steps, and defeating the demon at last. Father Dyer, a friend of Karas, happens upon the scene and administers the last rites to Karas.
Yes.
This is like his best buddy, who he's helping take care of him, and he's the one he kind of turns to with his crisis of faith.
Exactly. Yeah, they're like BFFs.
They
it's
are.
so sad.
Yeah. A few days later, Regan, now back to her normal self, prepares to leave for Los Angeles with her mother. Although Regan has no apparent recollection of her possession, she is moved by the sight of Dyer's clerical collar to kiss him on the cheek.
Aww.
As the car pulls away, Chris tells the driver to stop, and she gives Father Dyer a medallion that belonged to Karas. After they drive off, Dyer pauses at the top of the stone steps to give Regan's window one last look, and then returns to walk away. That was the theatrical ending.
Yes.
The director's cut we saw was... blah, blah, blah. In the ending of this version, when Chris gives Karas' medallion to Dyer, Dyer places it back in her hand and suggests that she keep it. After she and Regan drive away, Dyer pauses at the top of the stone steps before walking away and coming across Kinderman.
Yes, the police officer.
Yes,
yeah.
Who narrowly missed Chris and Regan's departure. Kinderman and Dyer begin to develop a friendship.
Yeah.
The end. So yeah, that was The Exorcist. Great movie.
Woo! Good movie. I really liked it, yeah. And then, I've always liked this movie. It was probably one of the first horror movies I watched. I watched it fresh out of high school. And I thought, because it wasn't really my thing. Horror movies were not my jam. But I was like, some of my friends were like, let's watch The Exorcist. I'm like, psh, I'm tough. I can do it. And I, almost cried the whole time. So, but now looking back, I can be like, character growth.
Yeah.
I don't cry anymore.
I don't cry about people.
Yeah, don't cry about movies usually.
No.
Oh, I'm choking on my drink here. All right, sorry, I had to pause because I was actually choking. Okay. So when you talk too much about possessed stuff, you become possessed by
That's right.
beer. That's a good way to go.
I can go that way.
Possessed by Duffman.
Duffman, can't breathe. Oh no! Oh no! I love Duffman.
So good. Oh my god.
Okay, so how many Horr-Gasm would you give The Exorcist?
How many haws out of 5?
How many Horr-Gasms out of 5?
Probably 4 out of 5, and honestly, just because it's so nostalgic.
Yep.
And I like it. I really genuinely do like it so much. It's just such a good pillar in the horror,
I agree.
Yeah, monument that I think that it deserves recognition for how great it is.
Yeah.
And again, in 73, terrifying.
Yep, I agree.
There's a reason people cried and puked and were horrified.
Passed out and had to leave.
Yeah.
For that day and age, that was a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was a lot.
3 or 4 years ago, I would have been the same way.
Yep.
I never, I couldn't get through the first one without crying. So.
Oh.
You know, first time I watched it, but yeah, it's good. I'm glad that it exists. I think it's great, and everybody should see it.
I agree. I wouldn't
How
go
about
with
you?
4.
Yeah.
3.5.
Fair.
3.5 out of 5.
Totally fair.
It's a very slow burn.
Yeah.
The most, like, the story of this whole movie is the final act.
Absolutely.
100% the final act. Everything else just kind of leads up to it, and it's a good lead up.
Yep.
But all the thing that you remember it by is the final act, the exorcism.
Yep.
It's not the longest movie, thankfully, but
It's still 2 hours. Like, it's a solid 2-hour movie.
yeah. But for like
But like the first 20 minutes, you're just watching an old white guy run around.
yeah, it's paced slow.
Yep.
But I can't because Alien's the same way.
Absolutely,
It's a good hour before half hour to an hour before anything really happens.
Yes.
But I'm also very partial to Alien.
Of course.
But the pacing is it's good, but it's also it's plods along at a constant pace, but it's plodding, and it plods and it plods. I think it's halfway through finally she actually gets talking to the pastor or the priest about that.
Yep.
The first half is just some of the symptoms
Yeah.
and the bed shaking and
Yes.
the one guy dying.
It's like, oh, it's kind of cold in here. Let's all wear jackets.
Oh yeah, that's something.
Yeah.
Just feeling we didn't talk about. Like whenever they went to the room, it's ice cold.
Freezing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had their breath and all that. Yeah, there's a lot. They kind of throw a lot at you too.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
it's one thing though. The score, the music of this is great.
So amazing. Yeah.
The acting is great.
Yes. Yeah. No, I agree with you. The music, the lack of music, it all plays such an important role in the ambiance of this movie, which
Yes.
is its selling point, honestly.
Yep.
Is the shock value in the ambiance. Is that, like, these days, if you went to see it in a theater, I think it would still be scary-ish. Like, it's just, if you didn't know what was coming. Like, if you've never
Yes.
seen it.
Yeah.
The practical effects are still so good.
Yes.
So good. Some
Like-
of the visual effects, like the face that they kind of show in passing through random things, it's kind of like
There's a few
a
things
little
we
queenish,
let's say we
like
didn't talk about like
a little Bohemian Rhapsody queenish, but still
Like,
not bad.
Yeah, like as the movie progresses, we see the image of Pazuzu's like face, like in reflections in this and that. It's in passing.
Yeah.
But you kind of think, what was that?
Yep.
The director's cut we saw had the crab walk down the stairs.
Right.
Creepy.
Yep. Super creepy.
Oh yeah, and yeah, like the head rotation. You can tell it's fake, but back then it'd be more. Ooh, what the hell did they do that?
Ugh, it's still creepy. But
Yeah. Yeah. And then like Linda Blair did a great job as
So
Regan,
good.
both as possessed and normal everyday tweener.
Yep.
Yeah.
For sure. And it's just, like, the stark difference between the two characters is insane.
Yes.
Like, in the beginning with, like, her and her mom talking, and they're just, like, literally the cutest. Like, the relationship everybody wants with their mom. Like, they
they're
talk about everything.
They have a great relationship.
They're so cute. She's literally sweet as pie. Like,
Yeah.
just the most caring, loving little girl.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what they had to do to make such a stark difference between Regan and Azuzu, right?
Yeah.
So you can really tell that she's not well.
Yeah. And you know what? I just remembered, and I can't believe I didn't think about this till now. I kind of saw this movie when I was younger in print form.
Oh.
Mad Magazine had
Okay.
a spoof of it.
Interesting.
Because they did that. They did that during movies. I remember, I think it was Bob's issue. I think I might have to find that.
Sure.
But I think it was a horror movie issue.
Sure.
But they do a spoof of
yeah.
Exorcist. I think it was the Exorcist. And yeah.
Aw.
So I kind of knew about this movie before I really realized it. But
That's
no,
so cute.
3 to 5.
Awesome.
It's not a terrible movie. It's not a bad
Yeah.
movie. It's not. I thought it was overrated. I was wrong. It's a well rated movie.
Awesome.
Should it be
I'm
the-
so glad.
Should be in the top Nowadays, no. But if you asked me that 20 years ago, 10 years ago, maybe, yes.
Absolutely, yeah.
I'd say it definitely would be top 5.
Yeah.
Maybe top 3 of all-time scary movies.
Right. See, and for me, even just for me personally, it will forever be in top 10. Just like The Shining. Because I think it's just, there's such interesting movies. Love. Well, how about Ichabod and Anarchy's Kill the Flick?
Oh, Ichabod and Anarchy's Not Kill the Flick.
Woo!
I think it has to go with Burke's death.
Yes.
Because his death was the most, well, there's only like 2 of them.
Yeah.
His death was the most brutal.
Yeah.
Because not only was he found at the bottom of the steps, dead, his head was on backwards.
Yeah.
And they tried to play it off as...
So gruesome.
They tried to play it off as, oh, it must have happened when he fell down the steps.
Yes.
No, this happened before he was thrown out the window. Which is what brings the detective lieutenant. That's where he gets, asking the questions, trying to figure out what happened, and all that.
Yes. Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think that, of the 2 deaths, and that's the thing, that this movie didn't even have a lot of deaths, and it's still creepy.
Yep.
And that's really saying something.
You don't have to have...
Death and gore.
You don't. You don't
Right?
always,
To
again,
make a spooky movie.
Paranormal Activity. Perfect example.
Blair Witch Project.
Another great example.
Yeah.
If you can set the atmosphere properly, you can go a movie without any death, any killing. And you can...
Don't even
jump
have to show
scares.
it on screen.
No.
Yeah.
Keep it all off screen.
Exactly. Still creepy.
Very creepy.
Ah!
So,
Love it.
all right. So next week, we're going
Yes.
to have a previously recorded episode.
Yes.
We did Aliens.
Yes.
We originally recorded it for release for
April.
Alien Day,
Yep.
4/26. Sadly, that didn't happen due to hiatus. And we have one of our regular special guests, Tim.
Woo!
He comes and watches it with us.
We had so much fun that day.
That was a great
It was
day.
a good day.
And I love Aliens.
Right.
It was such a good movie. We watched
Such a good
the extended cut, the
Sure did.
director's cut.
Director's cut. Wow.
And then the week after that, we will be releasing or watching and doing a podcast of Psycho Gorman.
Woo! Which I've been wanting to watch forever.
Yes. We have been planning to watch this. This was planned before the hiatus.
6 months.
Yes. We're finally doing it. We're finally watching Psycho Gorman.
Yes.
I'm excited. I can't wait. Ugh. Psycho Gorman.
Okay, and we're changing our outro, so
We are?
aren't we?
I don't think so. I thought we'd just keep that.
You want me to just keep the outro the same?
Yeah. I added anarchy to it.
Okay, cool. We're not changing the outro.
No.
Thanks so much for joining us. This episode was brought to you by our executive producer, Ichabod, and our head of talent relations, Anarchy. Jeez, I need to learn how to talk. We hope you enjoyed your Horr-Gasm as much as we did. Please don't forget to rate, download, and subscribe. Also, like and follow us on Facebook at Horr-Gasm Podcast, Instagram at Horr-Gasm, Twitter at Gasm Horror, YouTube at the Horr-Gasm Podcast, and soon Twitch at Horr-Gasm Games. If you have a movie you'd like us to review, this is the best way to let us know. We hope to see you again next week because we have such sights to show you. Plenty of Horr-Gasms for you to experience.
Later.
Bye.